Hello, hello, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for October 8th, 2024. It's Season 3, Episode 282. Can you believe that we've done 3 years worth of this show already? It seems like it's gone by so slow. Just kidding. Today, Merwatt and the sentient AI, I'm Merwatt, and the sentient AI from the future is going to talk about the following 10 articles. I'm just going to leave that audio in there. We never promised an ad-free existence. Speaking of Tipsy, Mega Millions implications, Breyers Ice Cream, Spirit Christmas, beer can artwork tossed, Roblox user numbers like the Hindenburg, American Water Cyberattack, and a 4-day work week in Canton, Connecticut. And you know what? Just get it a wet donut. That and more. I was really quiet, and I think that the background music did this like howling right in that silence.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what made me pause.
Because I didn't hear whatever it was, so I was like, I wonder what happened.
Oh, doggone it. There it is again. You know what I didn't do? I didn't throw the articles into the bot, into Omatron. So let me do that real quick right at the beginning of the show, because nothing sells the show like a long delay and low production value. I'm just going to leave it like that. It'll be a big blob when somebody does !NSN like I'm about to do. And that's how you get all of the articles from. Yeah, well, they're there. Anyway, they're not in a particular order and they're kind of messy, but you can discern what the articles are all about. So let's get into it. The sentient AI, that visualizer right there, and the voice that you heard briefly is the co-host. So you want to say hi?
Hello, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Non Sequitur News.
Yeah, and we're all caught up over on the podcast and over on YouTube, and you can download all of it now. Go. I mean, not right now. Stay here for the show, but then go. The background music's just killing me. I'm going to leave it.
Are you telling them to go or to go to the things?
No, just go. Speaking of go, let's go and talk about this article. It's over in Continuity Report, but it's actually from Variety. That's where we get this little snippet from. But Amazon moves to dismiss lawsuit over Prime Video ads. Company, quote unquote, never promised service would be ad free. You dumbasses. That's not actually in the article. But
well, is that toward the consumers, like for not realizing they were going to be upcharged?
Fleeced a little bit more. I actually ended up paying that fee. It really sucks. Let me tell you. Pray we don't change it again. I have ever since.
We know we will, right? If it's not going up at 500% every few months, something's wrong.
Yeah, and I really think that since I've been kind of snarky about Amazon lately, that my packages are starting to get delayed and I can't just stop by the local place to do returns. I have to print something out and find a box because I threw out the Amazon box, and now I have to find a box and tape it up and stick their little shipping thing label to it. And in some cases I have to pay to ship it back even though I'm Prime. Yeah, that CO2 bottle, that CO2 cylinder, I ended up having 2 20-pound cylinders. So, yeah. Anyway, Amazon is seeking to dismiss a class action lawsuit filed by Prime Video users disgruntled over the additional ads. And if you want to pay, you have to pay $3 a month on top of what you've already paid to get Prime Video for free.
Pretty soon, it's like there will be a fee on top of the fee.
Well, there's
You want to turn the TV on.
Yeah, there's a convenience fee for the convenience fee. Todd Spangler, I don't think
How about an
that's...
inconvenience fee?
This would be an inconvenience fee. Todd Spangler, who is not related to Egon Spangler of Ghostbusters fame. Not that I know of, considering Egon Spangler is a fictional character. Could be the brother. Cousin.
Do you think he has a proton pack?
I don't know. We'll have to talk. So, in the October 4th filing, the e-commerce giant pointed to its terms and conditions and said, "Read those, bitches!" Which note that Amazon may choose in its sole discretion to change the plan. Pray I don't change the agreement once more. I wish I had my voice distorter active right now.
That would have actually been really good right there.
Yeah. So it may choose in its sole... Wait. It may choose in its sole discretion to add or remove Prime membership benefits.
But it's probably right after you've paid your annual fee, right?
Usually.
You know, like you think you're getting X amount for way more money than the previous year, but then nope.
Amazon never promised to Prime members or anyone else that Prime Video would always or entirely ad-free, the company said in the filing with the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Washington in Seattle. God, man, it's so cringy. The richest people in the world are sitting on top of this and going, you know what we need? $3 more from everybody. All the money. Yeah. So on behalf of Prime Video, users accused the company of false advertising and deceptive practices over the change by Prime Video to serve ads unless customers pay $2.99 a month more, which is what we do. Yeah, so Prime Video users are suing Amazon, got exactly what they bargained for. Amazon's motion to dismiss said, Jesus, how brazen ballsy. The stones on that attorney. One Prime benefit.
I mean, why would that go over well, like with the judge or anybody or the jury, depending on what it was? Like, this
but what are
is
you
just
going to do?
ridiculous.
Are you going to go somewhere else? You'll be back.
You'll be back.
It's the Reddit, you know,
Yep.
What we have to come up with the thing. It's the Reddit premise or something like that, or the Reddit gambit. There we go. It's the Reddit gambit, which is even if you say you're not going to be back, you'll delete your account, but you'll still be back. December 2023, Amazon announced that all Prime members that beginning 30 days later, some Prime Video movies, Sand TV? Sand TV? I did not pay for Sand TV. Anyway, I think it's movies and TV shows would also include limited advertisements unless, you know, you paid $3 more to a mega corporation who's enriched a single person wealthy beyond belief. But at least they're not politicking, so I guess there's that. At least not that wingnutty. Anyway, the original suit was filed on behalf of Wilbert Napoleon, a resident of Eastvale, California. NaNoWriMo, folks.
I mean, where did they find somebody with that name? It sounds like from an 18th century novel or something.
You got a character and you've got a location. It's the perfect combination. Wilbert Napoleon, a resident of Eastvale, California. If this isn't like Agatha all along type material.
Exactly. Is this the class representative?
Yeah, apparently. The class lawsuit accused Amazon of false advertising.
Dismissed people that wanted to be the class rep that were like Joe Smith. They're like, no, that doesn't have enough pizzazz.
You're too basic. You're just coming across too poor. We're going to have to get what represents somebody that might be like beyond reproach. Let's come up with a name. Wilbert Napoleon. Perfect. Nobody messes with a Wilbert Napoleon. Definitely not of Eastvale, California. Telling you, it comes across like Agatha all along material.
It really does.
Anyway, they know that their claims under the prime terms are dead on arrival, as other courts, including this district, have repeatedly held, because the contract expressly provides that some prime benefits might change over time. That is another one of the statements from Amazon. For crying out loud, man. They are just
They're like
kicking.
begging the judge or whomever to just throw the book at them.
They tain't messing around, man. They're just like kicking you right in the twig and berries again and again. It's the, as a podcast calls it, the ball kicking machine. For crying out loud. They're just doing it again and again and again.
Wow.
So instead, the plaintiffs cite the separate Prime Video terms of use, which cover some aspects, but importantly, not all aspects of plaintiffs' use of Prime Video, because there's an Amazon dominant agreement that says that they can change anything at any time. Pray they do not add in the fine print that they will take your firstborn anytime they want to. What is that?
Wow.
What is that thing where the king can supposedly sleep with the bride the night of the marriage? There's something knocked. It's this. I don't think it's a legit thing, but it might actually be. Anyway, let's move on because I'm feeling a little tipsy. The next article's over in the continuity report. Shaboozey, a bar song, makes it to 13 weeks at #1, and Sabrina Carpenter's trio of hits keep making chart history. I have never listened to a Sabrina Carpenter song, let alone a trio of songs, unless I've just
you've heard probably Espresso, even if you're not trying to hear it.
Well, I might be getting tipsy. Shaboozey's a bar song, Tipsy, has now led the Hot 100 song charts for 13 weeks because it is very singable. It's smashable. It is quaffable, one might say. And one being only me. Anyway, a bar song holds more than double the weight of Post Malone and Morgan Wallen's I Had Some Help, or the second longest running single of the year. The article's over at Variety. You know what? Did I say the name of the author for that first one? I think I did. Yeah, Todd Spangler.
Yes, because we talked about the Elon Spangler.
Egon, not Elon.
I knew that didn't sound right as I was saying it. I'm like, something like that for the first name. Ghostbusters.
Oh God, what just happened? So Tanya Garcia over at Variety.com put the article together. And Shaboozey has changed, and Sabrina Carpenter doesn't look how I remember her.
I know.
Wait a minute. Oh, they flipped.
Different. Oh, they're switched. Yeah.
Oh, God.
It is weird with the way the headline is. You think they might have put them in the other direction.
Yeah. Just don't do that. Come on. So I look a fool when I get tricked like that. So a country and pop radio hit, a bar song, totaled 76 million radio airplay audience impressions in the latest tracking week per data from Luminate. Luminate sounds like either like a light, like a flashlight, dink, or like a candy.
I was thinking like a sugar substitute or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
Something you would like add to a tea or a
coffee
soda
or something. Yeah, exactly. So I added some Luminate. So the song's milestone success makes the Virginia-born singer-rapper a promising candidate for a Grammy nomination. In the 2025 ceremony, Chris Willman, Variety's chief music critic, notes Shaboozey as a probable nominee in the Best New Artist and Record of the Year categories. And the song is just so damn catchy. I can't imagine it not.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then there's Sabrina Carpenter, who also emerges as a leading prospect. Carpenter, who is currently completing her first headlining arena tour, claims 6 consecutive weeks with 3 simultaneous top Hot 100 top 10 singles. espresso taste, and please move on to the next article, which is what I'm about to do. There's a lot more, by the way, in this article, so definitely follow it. What do you think?
Well, I think the Shabuzi song certainly is likely to win, but I think it is impressive that she has 3 songs in the top 10 at the same time. That's pretty rare.
You know what nobody is talking about in this article? Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Not until way down
Which
here.
Is odd.
It's down in number 7.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. Oh, no. Oh, Dead Album Society. Moving on. Next article is over in the Mobile channel. Mega Millions ticket to more than double in price in 2025. Completely ruining my plans for retirement. It went from $1 to $2, right, in 2017. And then,
yes.
And now just 7 years later, it took 15 years to go from $1 to $2. And then in 7 years, it's now going from $2 to $5. That's insane.
I mean, I know it's a low price, but the percentage increase is ridiculous.
So they say here that, namely, players will have improved odds to win the jackpot. But I guess I don't understand how that actually works. Right? Is it because fewer people are going to shoot for the jackpot because it's $5?
Yeah, I don't get that. I would think the odds would reduce probably.
So,
I mean, the odds of any one winning should be the same unless they change what numbers are available or
right.
something about the drawing itself, right? Because the probabilities are always going to be the same. But how many tickets are people going to buy, et cetera? That's where I see it changing.
See, and that's why I said when I first heard about this, what's actually going to happen is there's going to be fewer wins, but they're going to extract more wealth from the individuals, and it's going to churn, generating revenue for the state that gets the money, right? Because in each state that has Mega Millions, they keep that little cohort of money for whatever, they invest it and it turns into an annuity and blah, 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 or a lump sum payment. But that cash is still sitting there. But now, instead of $1 or $2, now it's going to be $5. So a single ticket is $25. You can't just plop a 20 down and get.
Right. And it's a 250% price increase.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know how that's actually, they say the change. Okay. So the price hike comes with some benefits, though. Namely, players will have improved odds to win the jackpot. I need to look at why that is. There will also be bigger jackpots more frequently, as well as larger starting and faster growing jackpots. But I don't see how that happens, because unless they change the numbers for the draw, it's fixed at the number of odds there.
Yeah, I agree. Like, why? How would that work, right? Because the jackpot, the starting point is whatever they want to put it at, but the growth is based on the ticket sales.
Right. Yeah. So
unless they're going to infuse more, like if it doesn't win or something, I don't know. Like we're obviously missing some details here.
So, but let's say 250,000 people normally capitalize the lotto, right? Each round, each pull, 250,000 people do it. Now, to get to the same value, they only need 100,000 people. So they're going to be able to capitalize it faster, but it's not going to change the freaking odds of winning, because in fact, instead of $20 being 10 tickets, it's now 5 for $25. So I don't know how you're not increasing anything. I just don't get it.
Exactly.
Maybe I don't understand math. Math is pretty hard, though. So, but we'll come back to this. Maybe I can do some due diligence on this, because they say changes will also include a built-in multiplier on every ticket, multiplying non-jackpot wins by up to 10 times. So that's what is going to change it.
That might be why the jackpot could be greater, but that still doesn't explain some of the other points.
Yeah, players with will no longer be able to break even on a ticket. If they win, the prize will always be more than the cost of the ticket because they have like a power up. So there are some changes, but I don't know about the odds of winning changing unless they actually have some modification to the actual play. So we'll do some more due diligence on this and talk about it. But let's keep on moving. I know I can get bogged down in some of the conceptual stuff.
Okay, we could come up with millions of questions about the Mega Millions article.
Yeah, until we actually dig around a little bit and find out. So the next article is over in Hatch Ideas. If you bought this Breyers ice cream flavor in the last 8 years, you're eligible for some cool, hard cash. Let's see. Here's how to make your claim. Vanilla lovers, take note. So the article's over at Entrepreneur. Aaron Davis put the article together. Breyers is paying $8.85 million as part of a class action settlement. Here's how to file a claim. If you bought Breyers, then you, in the last 8 years, vanilla ice cream in particular, which, how are you going to, I have kept my receipts for Breyers vanilla ice cream.
Probably not.
Over the last 8 years, because I knew this was going to happen. Man, they just screw you at the frozen goods side of the, you know what? And that's so true because the entrance is over here and they make you walk all the way to the far side of the freaking store. Look, it's even off the screen. It's so far.
Don't fall off. Yeah, the flat earth.
That's true. I'm really close to the edge. But then you know how the flat earth works, right? You start walking towards the edge and somebody pops up and turns you around and you go, what? No. Anyway, the defendants, Canopco Incorporated, the advertiser, it says, and Unilever United States Incorporated, the parent company of Breyer, denied all claims but agreed to the settlement because that's what one does. You know, we did nothing wrong, but we'll pay your little extortion. Anyway, you're going to have to follow a link, and you can follow it over to vanillaice-cream-settlement.com.
Which really looks sus, doesn't it?
While you don't necessarily need proof of purchase to qualify, consumers without a receipt will only receive a maximum of $8 or $1 per item purchased. If you have receipts, however, there's no limit to the amount of money you can receive.
Well, there is a limit, right? Because depending on how much other people claim, at some point they run out of funds.
Well, I bought $8.85 million worth of Breyers vanilla ice cream, and I have the receipts.
Well, there you go. You better file fast.
Moving on. Next article is over in the Mobile channel. Spirit Halloween is opening Spirit Christmas stores. I am so happy about this. By the way, I came up with this idea way before anybody else did. We're talking 23 years, probably, was the first time I mentioned opening up pop-up stores for Halloween and Christmas in strip malls. I came up with this.
Yes, you did.
I need to come up. I need to go and verify this. Hold on. Now, Spirit Halloween was founded in 1983 and began in a Castro Valley Village shopping center in San Francisco Bay Area. Spirit Halloween is
really
40 years old.
I did not know that.
All right. You win this round, Spirit. Anyway, long time ago, this is something that I wanted to do. And yeah. So it's not Halloween yet, but whatever. Christmas fans rejoice because we're finally getting a Spirit Christmas store after years of retail pop-up giant focusing its unique Spirit Halloween business model to the point where it ended up on SNL this weekend.
I know that's what's really odd about this announcement, right? They were poking fun at Spirit Halloween.
Yep. Oh, and it's hilarious. Like the store, one of the parts of the skit is this guy is closing down his store after like 30 years of being in business and generations or something like that. And before he even gets all the way off the curb as he's walking away, a spirit has moved in and he just turns around and goes, "Oh," and walks into the spirit.
Yeah.
I love it. So Spirit announced on Monday that it's going to open up 10 Spirit Christmas locations as part of its soft launch. The first batch of stores will be in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. And so their goal is to create probably a little bit of Christmas joy. Yeah. Kyle Philippi.
I guess. Well, what they can't do is cash in on Christmas, right?
Why not?
Well, I mean, until they do this.
Oh, right. Yeah. So they need to do a Spirit Thanksgiving and a Spirit
Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's
4th of July,
Day and
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Spirit New Year's. It could just be a monthly pop-up and they just rotate the stuff. It's actually like a giant building on a lazy Susan and it turns just a little bit, like a clock every hour, tick, and that's the Spirit. Nice. And then tick and then wow. Okay. There's another one for NaNoWriMo. Anyway, Spirit announced on Monday that it's going to open up 10 Spirit Christmas locations. I already told you all of that. The new spots are expected to open in early November, and not all Spirit Christmas stores will take over locations vacated by their Spirit Halloween predecessors. Some will occupy new spaces altogether. Oh, joy! Adding a new set of stores while capitalizing on the busiest shopping season of the year makes sense. In 2023, the November to December timeframe saw a 3.8% spending increase among consumers, according to the National Retail Federation. You know what else has a federation? Santa Claus. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the elves.
It is. Yeah, there's a union of elves. They're going to strike this Christmas. I don't know. Yeah, they might actually double as longshoremen. Moving on. Too soon.
Too soon. Still going on. I mean, the strike isn't, but
yeah. Negotiations are. So the next article is over on the Mobile Channel. Beer can artwork mistakenly tossed in the trash by museum staff. I do the same thing with my beer can artwork. I set it on the counter and
people don't appreciate it as art.
And they just throw it away. It's just so mean. So art is indeed in the eye of the beholder. At the LAM Museum in the Netherlands, an elevator technician recently mistook a piece of art of beer cans that belonged in the trash. So just clean it up, man. Just a prank, bro.
I hope there wasn't any penalty to the person.
They threw them down the elevator shaft. So as a artwork. So
that went dark.
An elevator shaft usually is. So created by French artist Alexander Lavet, or Lavet, I'm not sure how they pronounce their last name. The art piece titled, "Oh my God, this is nothing but beer cans." No, that's not what it's called. All the good times we spent together initially appeared to be nothing more than 2 empty beer cans. However, upon further inspection, these dented cans were meticulously hand-painted with acrylics, with each detail painstakingly replicated. So the error was an easy one to make, as art wasn't displayed in a traditional gallery setting. Instead, it was probably just sitting there. Oh yeah, it's like on the floor. But those were painted.
Right, but people wouldn't really know that if they just see cans.
Yeah. So Paige Gawley over at Vice.com put the article together. The deck statement says a museum staff member mistakenly tossed a piece of artwork crafted to look like 2 beer cans, which was being displayed in an elevator. Oh, it was in an elevator, and they were an elevator
Oh, that's why I
technician.
couldn't figure out because I was like, well, they weren't like janitorial or something. Maybe they were just being conscientious or something, but it's in the elevator. Wouldn't they have maybe alerted the elevator staff or something?
Yeah, they probably should have made a little sign, like this is an art piece or something like that. But it's part
Exactly.
of it being art to just have it sitting there. So there's a TikTok that actually is showing these cans in various places, but they're painted there. There was an easy one to make. So I don't know about that $50 piece though. 50
Right.
pound
I don't
piece,
know.
50
That
pound.
might get picked up for another reason.
I'd pick that up. Look at that. Hey, free money. So the beer cans were eventually recovered from a garbage bag where they were discovered intact. They're now being displayed in a traditional setting because, curator Eliza Vandenberg explained we wanted to give them their moment in the spotlight instead of their moment at the bottom of a trash can.
Well, that's sad.
Aw. Well, why not put it there and put a little sign next to it
Yeah.
that says, remember all of the times we've had together, including being thrown into a trash can.
That would be a nice update. I think it's better though in the random locations, but I agree. If they put a little sign, that would
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just a tiny little sign, hand painted even. Be meticulous, painstaking even. All right, next article. I'm gonna make these quick. We got like 4 more, including this one. Roblox accused of lying to investors about users' numbers by Hindenburg Research. So is Roblox going down in flames?
Isn't this like I think it was Reddit.
You're just walking right on past that, huh? Hindenburg Research.
Oh. It went whew.
I didn't fly past you like the Hindenburg because it lets you know where it is. Roblox.
Whoosh.
Foop. I shouldn't. It's always too soon. So Roblox, which went public in 2021, reported having 79.5 million daily active users in its most recent earnings report. However, Hindenburg claims Roblox intentionally conflates actual people with daily users, as that number could also include alt accounts and bots. Yeah, bots and alt accounts have always been problematic. You were saying something and then I sidetracked you.
Wasn't this the same issue that Reddit did when it first formed? Like it had fake users or something?
Oh yeah, it had fake users. It actually used bots to post messages. It had fake accounts, but they faked it until they made it. So a short seller report claims Roblox intentionally includes bots and alt accounts in its user numbers and fails to adequately protect children. Because those two are the same, right?
Right. Not at all.
Oh my goodness. Emma Roth over at TheVerge.com put the article together. And so Roblox, which went public in 2021, reported having 79.5 million daily active users. But how many of those are bots? Lots of websites have these problems, like the website formerly known as Twitter has a lot of bots, and others. If you can programmatically gain access to something, then you probably have a bot attached to it. I know that ohmTown has had bot floods, and I've purged those accounts. And so I tend to babysit it and then play catch up at times, but it's a losing battle because until you start requiring a blood sample every time you log in, a la Gattaca, you're never going to be able to stop bots because somebody's going to actually figure out how to, do a blood sample.
It'll build a better mousetrap.
Yeah. Yeah. You make a Gordian knot of a puzzle to gain access. Nobody's going to log into your whatever website. Anyway, Hindenburg is a activist short selling firm that infamously publishes research when it says it identifies something shady about a business, allowing it to make a profit as its share value declines. One example is from 2020 when Hindenburg accused the EV startup Nikola of fraud. Subsequently, an investigation by the SEC resulted in a 4-year prison sentence for its founder, Trevor Milton, of Nikola, not of Hindenburg. But if Hindenburg is an activist short seller and they disclose things that cause the stock to fail,
Yeah,
why
that's
isn't the
another issue.
SEC?
Well, they will be, don't you think? Maybe they already are.
Yeah, but they must be. It says they're infamous for this. So
Okay, but does that mean that they're not being investigated or, I mean,
it's weird. But I think it's really interesting that they're called
mhm,
Hindenburg and they short sell, which means that the company's
exactly.
failing.
It's like, it's in the name.
It's a little, Watashi, right? Wow. Wow. And sorry, that's Watashi was what the professor that was teaching me Japanese would always point at her nose and say Watashi, which means I, but
Right. So then did you think nose meant
nose meant I. Yeah.
right, right.
So it's a little Watashi is actually, anyway, sorry, inside baseball or inside Mayor Watt's mind, which you don't want to be there too long. Anyway, firm also claims that Roblox isn't doing enough to protect children, and that's been a long-term thing that we've been talking about. Not we, but society. I don't even understand Roblox. Roblox is like this dumpster fire that you like look at and then oh, what is going on?
Some kids even issue it for the same reason, which I find fascinating.
Yeah, because yeah. So the authors are admittedly short sellers and have an agenda irrespective of the substance of Roblox's business model and results. Over the past 4 quarters, our bookings, the amount of cash receipts have grown over 22% from $780.7 million in Q2 2023 to almost $1 billion in Q2 2024. Over the same period, cash provided by operating activities have totaled $646.3 million, and free cash flow was $440.3 million, and we have guided to even higher numbers for fiscal 2024. So the generally acceptable accounting principles balance sheet, which is hilarious that they throw that in there because I guess if
Is that a dig at them?
like if you sit there and you say our GAAP balance sheet, as if that impugns the integrity of any other claim,
Right.
just because you say it's GAAP doesn't mean anything. Yeah, these cooked GAAP books.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we've audited ourselves, right?
yeah, and we found ourselves guilty of no wrongdoing. Anyway, our GAAP balance sheet and our GAAP cash flow statement makes that clear. So that's a verbal, like giving you the bird. Anyway, the author made no attempt to highlight any of that because the positive facts simply don't support their agenda. And honestly, a short selling company trying to crush a profitable company because their numbers are unassailable other than to make a claim really does smack of agenda to set a fire underneath a company, or I should say on top of a company, to make it decline. If the stock has been rising up and you short sell, you make money on the arbitrage price, that drop, that
Right.
gap. It's a different spelling of gap, but you make money on their loss. And if you do it right, you're borrowing. You're not even using any stock. You're actually just taking the stock, borrowing it for a time, short selling it, making money, and then giving the stock back to somebody. It's just kind of wacky. And
It's crazy that it's even really allowable, at least at the systemic way that this seems to be done.
right. It just seems bad for business because the reason you're buying it is so that you can watch it burn to the ground. There's nothing positive about a short sell other than it makes money for somebody else. Let's move on. The next article is over on the Mobile Channel. This one will be quick. American Water, the largest U.S. water utility, was hit with a cyber attack. We won't really go into all of the detail of this, but the Camden, New Jersey company revealed that the hack was on Monday. They identified it on Monday. They revealed the hack on Monday after identifying issues. This started out as a quick discussion, and
I'm thinking it's getting a little windy, like a
I've
a river or something.
I don't know what quite happened here, but anyway, um, Dumpster Fire Merawatt says that the Camden, New Jersey company revealed the hack on Monday after identifying issues a few days earlier and notifying law enforcement. So, according to the regulatory filing, which they are required to do because they're a public utility or a utility for, the public, the full impact of the breach is still unknown, as the company is currently unable to predict the full impact of this incident. They're going to have to get forensic auditors to go through their network, through all of their software, look for changes, look for modifications, unauthorized network activity, exfiltration of data. They're going to have to parse logs. If any logs are missing, then they know something bad has happened.
Right, but will they even detect everything? I assume so, but
people become very confident that they've collected everything, stopped everything. But once I detect a breach, I burn the whole damn thing to the ground, start over. I will reformat. That's what I recommend. Don't even try to recover like in situ. If you have an iced cold storage backup from the day before the breach, where you've identified the actual breach, I'd go back a week further, because you don't know when they actually came on board. They could have
right. I mean, that's true.
They could have gotten on board way back and just idled to see if anything untoward happened to the account they created or the hole that they bore open.
This is I don't know. I mean, I guess I get it from the hacker standpoint, right? This is a necessity. People probably pay a lot, etc. But it's very alarming because it's such a necessity.
Yep. And depending on how automated the systems are, they could contaminate water. They could stop it. They could get personally identifiable information by proxying to some other service that's within that service. I don't know how it's all interconnected. I'm just saying that there's possibilities for knock-on effects. But American Water serves 14 million people across half the United States.
Right. And that's one of these like mergers and acquisition kind of problems that we talk about, right?
Yep. Putting all of your eggs in one basket. So Kyle Filippi over at Vice.com put the article together. And it says, again, no water service has been affected, but it has, just by the very nature of a hack of the water system. You've been affected by it if you're in these 24 states. Don't
How
kid yourself.
How comfortable would you be drinking your water from this system right in the midst of this? Like, let's assume that the water was still flowing and everything. But
because just put this in perspective here. Several cyber attacks have targeted water utilities and infrastructure in the United States. The author of this article says, in 2021, a hacker attempted to poison the water supply of Oldsmar, Florida by remotely accessing the water treatment plant's computer system and increasing the amount of sodium hydroxide. Last year, an Iran-linked group targeted multiple U.S. facilities for using an Israeli-made computer system. So, and when I give my talks, I describe the fact that one person's freedom fighter is another person's terrorist, and the purpose or the rationale for doing this type of hacking or any hacking runs the gamut from waking up in the morning to very I don't know, extremist persuasion type of actions. They have some belief or political ideological bent or whatever it might be. It's, if you can think it, that's the rationale. So I would be bothered by this a whole lot more than how they're describing it. Our customers and the data we maintain remain our highest priorities. And that there isn't anything wrong, it says, basically. So it remains unknown.
I'm sure they're trying to instill calm, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm not trying to scare people, but I'm trying to alert them to the fact that An
Well, no, I
unknown.
agree. I think that could go too much the other way.
Yeah. This is like, okay, don't worry about it. We got it. But I don't believe in that. I think that security is everybody's responsibility. Um, so it remains unknown who or what was behind the American water attack. The company has operated for over 130 years and remains the only water utility company to appear on the Dow Jones Utility Average. Maybe it was Hindenburg, right? That
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. Nobody take that seriously. I'm not going to get an attorney phone call. Anyway, the next article is over on the Hatch Ideas channel. Love it. A town in Connecticut is experimenting with a 4-day work week, and it seems to be working. Yay!
Well, that's a big surprise. People like this.
You mean automation is allowing me to only work for 4 days? So I'm only working what 32 hours a week? Is that you think
Right?
that's
Well, we don't know that, but that's usually how these are set up.
really? Okay, well, from small towns in Connecticut to large companies like Kickstarter, the 4-day work week is gaining steam. Really, automation and efficiencies should allow me to enjoy my work-life balance to a greater degree, i.e., the balance of my life side, not doing more in the same amount of time. Everything okay?
Oh, yeah. I am reconfiguring my electrons.
So Sharon Shibu put this article together. It was edited by Melissa Malamute. And the key takeaways here is Canton, Connecticut is testing out a 4-day work week for town employees to promote work-life balance. Oh my God. And it's been a success among employees and residents alike so far. November 2023 Gallup poll showed that most people are willing to work more hours Monday through Thursday if they get Friday off. So
Oh, okay. It's not the 32.
10
So it's just
hour.
packing more hours.
Yeah. So you're hating life for 4 days, but then you get enjoy 3 days. So Kickstarter CEO Everett Taylor leads a company with a 4-day work week. He told Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank fame in July and other fame. He's known for a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, I don't really like the dude, but whatever. In July, that Kickstarter employees are very productive within their working hours. So let's
I'm
see
sure
here.
because they're like, we can get home and have a longer weekend.
Yep. Taking care of your kids, not worried about making appointments, and then you'll be far more laser focused at work. Canton's first selectman, whatever that is, Kevin Whitkos, told WTNH News on Monday. So town hall employees now work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and work an extra hour on Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Senior and social service employees now new schedule is from 7:30 a.m. to 4:15 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Why make people work? See, it says here 77% of the US workforce are in favor of a 40-hour 4-day work week. No, a 32
How about a
hour, if
32
that.
hour? Exactly.
Give humans their humanity, for crying out loud. We're not workhorses. We should be able to get paid the same amount. But you know what? I have heard some really dipshitty things before. I've heard a professional say, well, since everybody's teleworking, we should dock pay because they don't have to drive into work anymore.
All these kind of things are why there are problems in the workforce.
It's why unions form and people hate administration, because some dipshit will actually make that statement and not like, oh, I'm being a jokey dumbass. They actually really buy into that. You don't pay me to drive into work. It's not part of that equation. My work product is what I get compensated for, not sitting in traffic for 2 hours each way. That's why I believe in work from home. And I've always done that. Telework, I did telework
You did it before it was cool.
25 years ago from one side of the country to the other. So,
Trendsetter.
yeah, wish I could have. Never mind. Anyway, so Zoom CEO Eric Yuan told The Verge in June that AI can help cut work week to 3 or 4 days. Yeah, if that's how employers actually thought of humans. Leverage the
Right. They're not
technology.
like, how can I get more out of my workers, right?
No, they give a tool that could shorten the week to 3 days, but then they go, well, you got 2 full days now, so let's do some more work and use those tools. Thanks. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. The next article and the last one for tonight is over on the Mobile Channel. California cops show off absurd new Cybertruck with music from Terminator movies. Because if we learned anything from Terminator movies, it's that cops are good. So the article is over at gizmodo.com. Matt Novak put the article together. And just so for the record is I titled this, well, just get it a wet donut. Because it's a police Cybertruck.
Police, yeah.
Anyway, I think, okay, so to me, Cybertrucks are allergic to water.
They seem to be. They don't like car wash mode.
Apparently, yeah. And every time I've ever seen one, it's been parked on the side of the road in the rain. Anyway, it's Irvine too. Irvine Police Department is excited to unveil what we believe is the first police Tesla Cybertruck in the nation. I guess they maybe got it. Oh, well, it's for DARE anti-drug program rather than as a patrol car, which DARE is the anti-drug program version of the Cybertruck. It really is, because DARE never really worked either.
Too soon.
The truck will support our drug abuse resistance education program and community outreach efforts, because everybody needs a laugh when they're talking about drug abuse resistance education, apparently. Can't slam a door. Anyway, for over 3 decades, their DARE officers have driven attention-grabbing and one-of-a-kind vehicles that never fail, well, to turn heads and excite students. IPD believes in the continual education of students and is one of only 2 DARE programs in the entire state. You talk to anybody about DARE, and it has no impact.
Right.
Really.
Probably the only people that are paying any attention to it probably don't need it to begin with.
I don't know of a single child or adult. By the way, this program started in 1983. I know this program well. I know someone who touted this. Yet the people around me were stoners.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So DARE did nothing. In fact, it was like a joke. If you're going to dare me to do drugs, I'm going to do drugs. Challenge accepted. Anyway.
Need to work on the messaging then.
Yeah. I mean, nobody has figured out why humans take drugs. You know, the real reason why we take drugs. Why? Because it's as personal as you can possibly imagine. It's everybody who has gone through that phase. It's, let's try it. Oh, wow, this is a trip. That kind of a thing. And then you either keep going because you can't manage addiction, or you stop because you can manage addiction. And the world does not take addiction seriously and find real resolution for it. Like many, many, many things. Mental health, for instance. Why do people drink to excess? There's usually a reason behind it, and then it becomes a physical requirement. That's the physical addiction part of it. But there's a mental addiction part of it too. Anyway, didn't mean to get really into the reads here with this, but anyway, it is what it is. A little bit of levity, a little bit of serious. Life is like a box of articles from hometown. You never know what you're going to get.
That's certain. It is non sequitur news.
And with that, we're going to jump into our, I'm not going to say Cybertruck because I'll never get in one of those things. I'll jump into a Miata, drive down Main Street. You know what, Mini? You need to make a Mini Cooper that's all-wheel drive. Okay? Just a little Mini Cooper that's all-wheel drive. Not the Countryman. Not the Paceman. Just the Mini that's all-wheel drive. Can you do that? Look, I'm 5 minutes early, so I can sit there and vamp for another 5 minutes. Nah, we'll cut and run like the Hindenburg. I'm Merwatt, and the sentient AI from the future is gonna sing us out a jaunty tune. No?
I don't think so. Good night, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Non Sequitur News. See us tomorrow for another episode. And don't forget to watch the replay and like and subscribe and go to our Patreon and our TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Discord. I think that's it. Podcast.
Oh, I'm a lumberjack.